Africa has just witnessed the unthinkable. For the first time in history, the child of a sitting president has stood up and said no to her own father's rule. Brenda Biya, the daughter of Cameroon's President Paul Biya, has gone live on TikTok and told millions of Cameroonians, "Do not vote for my father." This is no ordinary statement. Her father has ruled for 43 years. At 92, Paul Biya is one of the world's longest-serving leaders, accused of corruption, authoritarianism, and keeping Cameroon in poverty. And now, from inside his own family, the silence has been shattered. Brenda, known online as King Nasty, blamed her father's regime for unemployment, poverty, and hopelessness. She has aligned herself with the revolutionary voices shaking Africa, from Captain Traore in Burkina Faso to Goita in Mali to Malema in South Africa. This is a political earthquake. For the first time, a president's own child is urging the people to rise up. The question is Brenda a genuine voice of change or just a privileged rebel? One thing is certain: Cameroon and Africa will never be the same again. History has been shaken in Africa. For the first time ever, the child of a sitting president has gone against their father not in whispers, but in public, urging millions of people to reject dictatorship. Brenda Biya, daughter of Cameroon's longtime president Paul Biya, has called on Cameroonians to liberate themselves. In her own words, "Do not vote for my father." This single sentence is sending shockwaves across Africa and beyond. Paul Biya is now 92 years old. For 43 years, he has ruled Cameroon with an iron grip. His rule is marked by allegations of corruption, authoritarianism, contested elections, and the suffocation of democracy. Cameroon, blessed with oil, gas, timber, fertile land, and human talent, remains trapped in poverty. The country's youth face unemployment, industries collapse year after year, and the future seems stolen. Many Cameroonians call him the absentee president because he spends so much of his time abroad, especially in Switzerland, far from the daily struggles of his people. A president who once promised stability has instead left decades of silence and hopelessness. And now, from within his own household, the wall of fear has been broken. Brenda Biya, popularly known as King Nasty on TikTok, is 31 years old. She belongs to a new, outspoken digital generation. For years, she was seen as living a glamorous life abroad, far removed from the reality at home. Many criticized her as detached, unconcerned, and even arrogant. But recently, she turned her platform into a weapon of truth. In a TikTok live session that no one expected, Brenda directly blamed her father's rule for the struggles of Cameroon. She spoke of poverty. She spoke of unemployment. She spoke of the daily frustrations of ordinary Cameroonians who cannot find work, who cannot dream, who cannot breathe. And then she said the unthinkable: "Don't vote for my father in October 2025. This was unprecedented in African politics. The child of a sitting president publicly denouncing their parent. Social media exploded. Some were shocked. How can she speak like this against her father? Others were filled with hope. Finally, someone from the palace has spoken the truth. Yet there were also voices of doubt. Does she really care about us? Or is this just a family feud? But one thing is certain: her words are not just gossip. They are history. In a continent where silence inside ruling families has always been the law, Brenda Biya has broken the chain. Her declaration resonates with a new wave of revolutionary leaders who are reshaping the African political landscape. Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, Colonel Assimi Goita of Mali, Abdourahmane Tiani of Niger, Julius Malema in South Africa, fighting for economic freedom. These leaders, though different in background, all represent a youthful, fiery spirit against dictatorship and the decay of old politics. And now, Brenda, though not a politician herself, has symbolically joined this current. By rejecting her father's dynasty, she has placed herself on the side of Africa's rising youth. When the daughter of Paul Biya speaks like Ibrahim Traore, it means the African spirit is unstoppable. A generation is rising from Ouagadougou to Yaoundé, from Bamako to Johannesburg. This is no longer about one family or one country. It is about Africa's awakening. Symbolism matters in politics. This moment shows that dictators are not even safe in their own homes. The truth is breaking through the gates of power. It shows that Africa's youth, even those born in privilege, cannot forever ignore the cries of their people. And it raises a powerful question. Will Brenda's voice encourage more sons and daughters of elites to speak out against unjust parents? Will this be the beginning of a wave that shatters family silence across the continent? When children of power begin to call for freedom, it signals that Africa's liberation is irreversible. Of course, there are critics. Some argue Brenda is out of touch, living abroad in luxury, far removed from the suffering she now claims to represent. Others say she may have a personal feud with her family, and that this is not about the people at all. And still others warn this could be political theater, a distraction before elections. The question remains, is Brenda a genuine revolutionary or just a privileged rebel? Only time will tell. History will judge her not by her words, but by her actions in the days to come. But whether she is genuine or not, the impact is undeniable. Her father's regime now faces a crack from within, a wound that cannot easily be healed. Cameroonian youth are energized, talking about change louder than ever before. Across Africa, the spirit of Pan-African liberation spreads from country to country, from leader to leader, from generation to generation. Paul Biya is one of the last relics of the old guard. His daughter's rejection is not simply family drama, it is a symbol of the new Africa rising. The Africa of youth, the Africa of courage. The Africa of freedom. Cameroon now stands at the edge of history, and the world is watching. So I ask you, do you believe Brenda Biya's move is sincere, or is it just another distraction? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you believe Africa deserves better, share this message with every youth on the continent. Let the world know, the revolution has reached the palaces. That's the full narration-style script, no sections or instructions, just flowing like a documentary or powerful voiceover. Would you like me to now shorten this into a 1-2 minute viral intro version as well, so you can use it as a hook before the full 30-minute video?
Yes, here we are. Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to Make Africa Great. It's true that the own daughter of President of Cameroon, Paul Biya, her name is called Brenda Biya, has called Cameroonians not to vote for father because he is too old. My dear brothers and sisters, before moving too far and diving deep into this matter, let me share also this one.
A bit more. Is Traore's popularity kind of based on his youth? Because many young people would argue that they are not given a chance at leadership. In President Obasanjo's era, for example, many of the leaders were in their 30s. But we struggle to see that kind of similar, demographic in power in this modern time. I mean, Africa has some of the oldest leaders in the world. Many young people would say they're not given a chance. Do you think that Traore's popularity is linked to them seeing a young person in a position of power?
I want to share this example from my country, Zambia, which I felt was something that was very, very sad. One of the handlers of the presidency, a previous presidency, shared an experience of what it was like working in State House. And he said something to the extent that there was a time when people were demanding so much of the ruling party then. And in that demand, they were talking about corruption and everything that was going on with the government that was going wrong. And so that meant every headline in each of the main newspapers was speaking against the president, calling for the president's head. And he said it became very uncomfortable at State House. And when it became uncomfortable at State House, what did the handlers decide to do? They went to print a new newspaper for the president, only for the president, meaning if, for instance, the Zambia Daily Mail had a headline that said something about the president needing to resign or retire, they would write a headline that talked about, oh, how great his leadership had been and all. And so there's a lot of misunderstandings that happen. I guess sometimes it's easy to point to the leaders and the heads of government and all, but their handlers also play a role. And so until the leaders begin to understand that it's okay to listen to other people, that is the only way we can make progress. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much. Did you want to add something to that? Or?
Yes, welcome back, brothers and sisters. That is an interesting story from Zambia, how president at the time was misinformed. People printing the same newspaper or newsletter with different information, with those people are leading outside there. So president has his own newspaper or newsletter, and citizens has also their own newsletters or newspapers. But what president is receiving is totally different with what our citizens are receiving. And sometimes you find that people are becoming angry with their leaders. Leader does not know why people are becoming angry. And the same to citizens don't understand why their president are not maybe leading what people are saying. Maybe it is because sometimes our leaders are too old. They cannot go into the ground and see what is happening. And that's why I'm coming to this point. Let me sit down and dive a little bit deep on why the daughter of President Paul Biya has called Cameroonians not to vote for our father. You know, President Paul Biya is too old. Many times he is in France seeking treatment. He's abroad trying to get treatment, but he's not serving well the people. Because if you are sick, you have to sit down and to leave the people who have energy and power to lead. And that's what's happening right now in Cameroon. Of course, we have experienced the one time that President Paul Biya was in France for 4 months without being in office. And yet, President Paul Biya wants to continue to be a president. And that's why I think even our daughter has called Cameroonians not to vote for our father, because those who are surrounding President Paul Biya, maybe they are not telling President Paul Biya the truth. The same things happening to Zambia, that president was misinformed. I think even President Paul Biya is being misinformed. And that's why I'm trying to connect dots with what happened to Zambia and what is happening right now in Cameroon. That maybe President Paul Biya is being misinformed, that people want you to become leader, to continue. Maybe people like you, but the truth on the ground, people are tired with Paul Biya. And that's why you see even his only daughter has called him to step down, and of course calling Cameroonians not to vote for him because he is too old, he can't save well, and people want changes, and changes cannot come from Paul Biya because he's too old, and it looks like he has nothing to add more from what he has done since he is in power for more than 4 decades, and he wants to continue to be president of Cameroon. So, brothers and sisters, I'm sharing this purposely for you to understand that we Africans sometimes we lament, but we are the ones who are the co-authors of this trouble and misfortune for our countries. Just imagine what happened to Zambia, that people misinforming president, and the president getting different information with what other people are getting. So you can see that is the reality. It is happening in Zambia, but not only in Zambia, in many African countries. So brothers and sisters, let us now dive into the issue of Captain Traore, why people like Captain Ibrahim Traore. People may say maybe it is too young. No, it's not because people like Traore because he's too young, because Traore can go every place, can go on the ground, see things happening, see what is going on, and you cannot misinform young leader, because young leader can move from one place to another. These old men are in power because they're being sometimes misinformed, and sometimes when people erupt and riot, of course they use a lot of energy and power to shut down people, they shut down internet. But if you are young, you can go on the ground and see what is happening. If people are saying they're building roads, you can go and see, is it a true road they are being built? If people are saying people love you, you can go on the ground and see. But if you are too old, you will stay on the office and people will give you information, fake information, and misinform you about what is going on in your country or in on the ground. And that's why people like right now are happy with President Traore, not because maybe of his age, no, because Traore is serving the interest of the people. So if you become too old, you save your interest and those who are surrounding you. And African leaders, those who are surrounding African leaders are dangerous people. And those people are very, very dangerous. They misinform leaders. They of course are those who are initiating this trouble and making things difficult, because they use that opportunity to benefit for their own and their families. So brothers and sisters, up to that, let me say thank you. Have a nice time. I'm here in my beautiful garden. I'm enjoying. You see, I have chickens here, we have fishes here. So it is so nice, so good. And from here, I'm very happy, and I say, brothers and sisters, let us come together, unite, and share what is so good for us, for our mother continent, Africa. It's my hope that you have already subscribed to this channel, and if you are not, please do so. And if you have something to share with us, please do so through the comment section. Do not forget to like the video and share this message to other Africans so that they can understand what happening real on the ground. So up to that, let me say have a nice time. See you next time in other video. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa. Mama Africa, oh, yeah. You make Africa great. Thank you, Africa. Thank you, Africa.